Hey, this is Russ Miller, and we're at the Mapex booth at the Frankfurt Musik Messe. And I just wanted to take a couple minutes and tell you about some of the new products that's being released by Mapex here at the show. The first one of which is the Saturn V drums. Now, there's two main changes to the Saturn series. The first one is, and they're both sonic in nature, so they look a lot like the Saturn IV, same sort of colors and, of course, lugs and hoops. But what's very unique about Mapex is releasing a whole nother line just based on the sonics of the drum. Most other companies would change a lug or change a hoop, do things like that. This is all about the sound and the sound being better. So before I show you that, I just want to give you a brief explanation of those features. It's based around two things. The first one is the Sonic Clear Edge. The Sonic Clear Edge is a new way of creating the bearing edge on the side of the drum. So the two main important parts of a drum as far as comprising the sound is the actual composition of the shell, meaning is it brass or steel or maple or birch. The next point that would make a huge effort in creating the sound of the drum is the bearing edge. On a standard bearing edge, you'll see an angled cut on the inside of the shell to an outside of the shell contact point for the head. When this happens, you can put a head on a drum and often get this rocking effect like this. When that happens, the head is not seating properly. By seating a head, it means it's flat and it's free to move. So when it's rocking like that and you tune it, you end up getting those barrels and warrels and those kinds of sounds in the tuning. And with the Sonic Clear Edge, what they've done is they've taken the outside of the edge and rounded it off considerably and moved the contact point in farther into the shell. So now the contact point is not out on the edge of the drum, but more in the center of the shell. So when you hit the drum, you activate the wood more, makes a bigger sound and more bottom end. It also seats the head perfectly. You can see I can't rock the head at all on there, and I can spin it very easily on the drum. So there's a freedom in the way the head moves, allowing you to tune it easier. That's how it works. Now, let me give you a brief demonstration of a drum without the edge and then one with the edge. This drum here on the left, on my left, is a drum that does not have the Sonic Clear Edge on it. And this one does have the Sonic Clear Edge. Now what you're going to hear is how much bigger and longer the sound is here with the edge. Now you'll notice that that sound is much deeper, there's more bottom end, and it's a longer sound. That's the first part of Saturn V, is having the Sonic Clear Edge on it. The second part involves the Sonic Clear tom mount. Now, the difference with the tom mounts are if you have a standard tom mount like this one here, you'll see down here there's a standard tom arm going to a clamp and then to a stand to the floor. There's 7 points of what's called vibration loss on that. There's the arm, the ball, the housing, the pipe, the clamp, the stand. So the amount of steps for the vibration to get to the ground dramatically changes the way a drum sounds. And if you've ever had a situation where you held the drum up in the air, you know, and you tuned it and it sounded great, and then you put it on the tom arm and now it sounds completely different or dead, that's because of transfer loss, vibration transfer loss. So the Sonic Clear mount, you can see here, it takes 3 of those steps away. So rather than having the arm, the ball, the housing, pipe, clamp, and stand, you just have arm with ball right to the clamp, right to the stand or to the ground. So 3 of those steps are taken away, and you can really hear the difference in what happens to the drum sound with just changing it to the Sonic Clear tom mount. So now I have the same drum here on a standard mounting system, and then the same drum we'll put on the Sonic Clear mount, and you hear the difference. Now the exact same drum with the Sonic Clear mount. You can see there's a lot more sustain, a lot more bottom end, and a lower fundamental in the drum on the Sonic Clear mount. So the Sonic Clear edges and Sonic Clear mount, huge sonic change in the drums from Saturn IV to Saturn V, and that's both coming standard on the Saturn V kit. We have my touring kit here, one of my European touring kits, and this is a Saturn V kit, and it's outfitted with the mounts and all the edges, and I've been using them for quite some time. Very happy with it. So I encourage you guys to check that out. And we will now talk about the Artist Series snare drums that we're releasing at Mapex.